All right, today's lesson is going to be something about a fantasy creature. Okay, so it's not really about Among Us, but we're going to think about something that's not so real. So if you're thinking about drawing a person or an animal like a horse, you know that those are real things, right? Humans are real, horses are real, dogs are real. Are snowmans real?
No.
Snowmans, you can build them, right?
Yeah.
But do snowmans walk around?
No.
Not really. So what about unicorns?
No.
Okay. But you can see unicorns in cartoons and movies and all that, right? What about this Among Us character? Is this real?
No.
But we can see them in games and we know them pretty well, right?
Yeah.
So these fantasy characters or creatures and things like that are called something unreal. And you can also see these kind of things in your dreams. Sometimes you have a creature chasing you in your dreams. Could be a nightmare. Or you can jump off a cliff in your dream, but you're not really getting hurt. Sometimes you're flying around in your dream, but those are not real, right? Those things you can consider that as surreal. So repeat after me, surreal.
Surreal.
Okay, surreal means going beyond being real. Okay, so we're going to learn about this thing called surrealism. Okay, so we're going to watch this short video and then we're going to be making an artwork. It's about surrealism.
Reality. We all have to live in it. It's made of real things like trees and staplers and washing up, all very useful, but also just a tiny bit boring, which is why the world needs surrealism. So, what is surrealism? Surrealism is an art movement started by French writer André Breton back in the 1920s. He was interested in things like dreams, fantasies, and thoughts in our minds that we don't even know we're having. Artists such as Salvador Dali, René Magritte, Dorothea Tanning, and Eileen Agar explored these ideas by creating surrealist art. So what does surrealism look like? There are two main types of surrealist art. The first type is inspired by dreams, like this piece by Spanish artist Salvador Dali. Dali was the big name in surrealism, known for his wild behavior and even wilder art. Like dreams, his work often combines things you wouldn't expect to see together, like this piece. But hey, dreams can be frightening. Just look at this nightmarish painting by the American artist Dorothea Tanning. Surreal, huh? The second type of surrealism is called automatism, which is art made without thinking. So if you've ever doodled whilst daydreaming, I hate to break it to you, but you're a surrealist. Check out this playful piece of automatism by the Spanish artist Joan Miró. Is this the sort of thing you doodle? How did people react to surrealism? The surrealists were brilliant at promoting their work, Dali especially, who wowed the huge crowds at their London exhibition by showing up in full diving gear. But most critics gave the show absolutely rubbish reviews. What does surrealism influence today? Nowadays, you'll see surrealism's influence everywhere, from wacky adverts to video games to surreal scenes in comic book films. Anything that tries to break free of plain old reality with a little wildness, weirdness, and joy.
Okay, so that was about surrealism. And we're going to make an artwork a little bit surreal today. So we're going to be making something weird and strange and crazy, but also very creative because we're going to be creating something that nobody has seen before. So it's not really about making something that's ordinary or something that's already out there. It's going to be something very strange. So you're going to get a piece of paper, and if you are in person, your paper is going to look more like this. Strange. right? But you can also start from a blank piece of paper like this. So virtual friends, you're gonna have a piece of paper like this. And the first step is to fold your paper into 3. So 1 and 2. And you might have seen some like brochures. If you go to some places like menus, it kind of looks like this. It's folded into 3 pieces like that. So after you fold it into 3, then you're going to be cutting 1, 2, 3, 4 places. So on each side of it, we're not going to cut anything in the middle, but these 2 sides are going to be cut into 3s again. So I'm going to use my scissor and cut maybe around right here. Yeah, this is for if you're home. If you are in person, you're going to get a piece of paper like this and you know exactly where you're going to be cutting. You're going to be cutting on the dark line. The dotted line means you're folding. The dark line means you're cutting. Okay. This very, very light line that you can see or not is just leave it there. Okay, now I'm going to cut the second line. So I have made 2 cuts here, and then I'm going to making 2 more cuts on this other side. So I want this to match up. So I'm going to fold this down, and then I'm going to cut to this end right here, and I'm going to line up my cutting to that end right here. So now my paper has 4 cuts, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the middle is not cut, and it's still folded like this. So when you have your paper going like that, and for in-person, pay attention. Okay, you're going to be cutting on the dark lines very carefully. 2, 3, and 4. You're going to cut on these darkest lines on the sides. Okay, so now when your paper is all cut up and folded, we're going to draw in the middle. See where my hand is exposing in the middle right here? This is you're going to see 3 boxes where you can draw. So you're going to be making a creature that's going to have a head, body, and the legs. Or it could be head, upper body, and lower body if it doesn't have legs. So let's say I'm going to be making a head. Let's say the head is going to be somewhat ordinary. It's going to have some hair. And the head. So far, there's nothing special, right? And I'm going to draw the neck. And this is quite important. Wherever you're ending right here, the body and the upper body needs to connect. I'm going to show you why. So far, a person is not surreal, right? Person will be just real. Let's say I'm going to make the difference in the arm movement. And maybe the hands are going to have wow. It's starting to get a little bit weird than ordinary, right? Which in other words, you can call it is getting surreal. Okay, now I'm going to go to the legs. And let's say instead of having legs, let's say it's coming up. Oh, maybe I should connect to the end of it. Are genes real? All right, so it's kind of getting weird, right? Now let's make it even more weird. So now you can see that these are folding. So I can fold one of these, and now I can draw a different head. Let's say I'm going to be drawing And if you want this to really work, if I'm going to draw the pig's neck, the neck has to connect to the shoulders right here in the body. I'm going to slightly tilt it so it's going to get connected. Now I'm going to be drawing the body. Let's say I'm going to be drawing the body. So I'm going to connect from this neck too. Let's say it's a worm, like an earthworm. Okay, now what kind of legs should we add here? Anybody have an idea for the legs or something for the bottom part of the body? Raise your hand. Natalie? Okay, then Matthew? Bear claws. Okay, great. I can draw some legs. Right there. Fur. So the bottom is all different, right? And you can change things if you want to change things. Okay, now we can make another set on these, right? So who can tell me a head that we can have right here? Raise your hand. Liana? Dog? Okay. Dog. Okay, don't forget to connect the head right to the shoulder right here. Okay, now who can tell me? Okay, I'm gonna just do. Keep in mind that I'm connecting the upper body to the lower body too, okay? Whatever you do, it needs to be connected or it's not gonna work very well. Okay, who can tell me how we should do the legs for the bottom of the K-3rd? Mosquito legs. Okay, so after you do this much, do we think we should color it? Yeah. It's gonna look a lot better if we're gonna color it. So, and you can kind of mix it around. And when you are finished with all this, when you turn it in Artsonia, you're gonna pick your favorite combination of head, bodies, and legs, whichever is your favorite and you think is most interesting, and take a picture in that most interesting combination that you got. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So virtual friends, get out a piece of paper and we're gonna fold the paper and cut 4 places. If you want to use this paper is in Google Classroom if you can print it. But if not, just use a blank sheet of paper and folding it will just work fine.